What mystery lies hidden behind the force that drives those who rise above circumstances? That question, emerging in the stillness of thought, invites us to venture into uncharted territory, the silent mastery of one's own soul, an intimate power that is not revealed through grand gestures or external boasts, but in the unwavering internal consistency of controlling who we are. This secret, as elusive as it is decisive, has been the subject of reflection in Nietzsche's work, who bequeathed to us the notion that true greatness resides in self-mastery. Throughout history, numerous sages have pointed out that the essence of power is not found in brute strength or the domination of others, but in the ability to govern oneself. In a world saturated with impulses and overwhelming emotions, the ability to contain and transform passions becomes the key to attaining a state of inner freedom. This freedom, far from being a mere abstinence from feelings, transforms into the source of a serene and penetrating force. Thus, every act of self-control becomes a declaration of independence in the face of life's whirlwind. Self-mastery is not an act of repression, but rather an art of sculpting one's own will. It is in the silence of introspection that character is forged, where one learns to discern between what is essential and what is superfluous. It is a continuous process of self-knowledge, in which every personal challenge becomes an opportunity to reaffirm inner strength. By taking responsibility for our impulses and emotions, we transform into the architects of our destiny, ceasing to be mere spectators and becoming the protagonists of our own story. One of the great revelations offered by this perspective is the notion that power does not depend on external recognition or applause. When someone masters themselves, they become almost imperceptible in the eyes of others. Yet, their influence manifests in a compelling and silent manner. True strength lies in the ability to act with equanimity, undisturbed by the fluctuations of fortune or external judgments. In this sense, self-mastery becomes a form of resistance against a world that constantly tries to shape us in its image. Taking a moment to observe the dynamics of existence, one notices how most people are carried away by immediate reactions and uncontrolled emotions. In contrast, those who have learned to manage their feelings move with the precision of a clockmaker, measuring each action with the meticulousness of someone who understands that power lies in subtlety. Such a person does not crave attention, nor is he trapped in the illusion of superiority imposed by the ego. His greatness is found in the ability to transform anger, fear, or pain into constructive energy. And it is precisely this transformation that bestows an incalculable value upon each lived moment. The path to self-mastery is neither easy nor free of obstacles. It is a journey that demands courage, discipline, and above all, an unwavering conviction that we are the masters of ourselves. Along this path, every mistake, every stumble, becomes a lesson that, though painful at the moment, forges the resilience necessary to face future challenges. The inner struggle turns into a ritual, a dance between will and passion, where balance is achieved through sheer determination, despite the temptations that constantly invade our minds. This internal power possesses a transformative quality that goes beyond the individual. One who masters their impulses radiates an energy so subtle that its influence extends to their surroundings, generating a contagious effect on those around them. A virtuous circle is created in which personal serenity inspires others to seek their own equilibrium. In this silent exchange lies a profound truth. The struggle for self-mastery is, ultimately, a struggle for collective freedom. The true revolution is nurtured from within, and when each person becomes the maker of their own destiny, social change ceases to be a utopian dream and transforms into a palpable reality. In the echo of this process, one perceives the murmur of the Nietzschean Übermensch, an ideal not achieved through mere accumulation of power or wealth, but through the constant overcoming of oneself. The being who rises above their limitations, who refuses to succumb to the inertia of mediocrity, embodies a new form of existence. It is not about ostentatious power, visible at a glance, but about an inner force so solid that even the most relentless adversities cannot destabilize it. Personal transformation thus becomes an almost mystical experience, a journey toward the purest essence of the will. However, self-mastery is also an experience of contradictions. While on one hand it symbolizes the supreme freedom of the spirit, on the other, it reveals the complexity of human existence. Every act of self-control is, in a way, a renunciation of immediate gratification, a conscious postponement of fleeting pleasures in pursuit of a greater good. This sacrifice, though seemingly small, implies a constant battle against oneself, a struggle waged in silence that, paradoxically, makes every inner victory feel like a colossal triumph. And it is in that tension, in that ebb and flow of the internal struggle, that the true essence of power is born. The emotion evoked by this concept is as deep as it is unsettling. There is an urgency to discover how free we can truly be if we manage to govern our impulses. There is a melancholic beauty in acknowledging that every inner conquest bears a scar, an indelible mark that narrates the history of an internal battle. This path, rife with moments of doubt and epiphanies, invites us to question the very nature of our existence. Isn't it adversity that forges character? The answer, though hidden in the shadows of experience, reveals itself in the brilliance of every act of personal courage. As one delves deeper into the art of self-mastery, a sense of wonder emerges at the human capacity to reinvent oneself. Every conscious choice, every decision not to yield to immediate impulse, opens a door to a world of infinite possibilities. The power found in self-control is a silent weapon against the tyranny of overwhelming emotions, a tool that enables us to write our own story with strokes of determination and clarity. True greatness is measured not by what is exhibited for the world to see, but by the intensity with which each moment is lived, by the integrity of a spirit that refuses to be enslaved by its own desires. This call to discipline becomes an invitation to transcend routine, to challenge the predetermined, and to forge one's own path. The inner voice, often drowned out by the noise of everyday life, gains strength when we choose to listen and obey it. It is in that active listening where true power resides, a power that feeds on reflection and, in turn, drives us to overcome the limitations imposed by our environment. Every step forward, every gesture of conscious control, transforms into a manifestation of an invincible will. Perhaps the most fascinating aspect of this process is how self-mastery reveals itself as an endless mystery, a puzzle that renews itself at every moment. By mastering our impulses, we open ourselves to the possibility of uncovering dimensions of existence that remain hidden behind the veil of everyday life. The mind, freed from its constraints, becomes a vast territory waiting to be discovered, where every thought and every emotion acquires a new meaning. This inner journey, replete with questions and challenges, evokes the feeling of always being on the brink of a transcendent discovery, leaving the possibility of unveiling even deeper secrets in suspense. The paradox of self-mastery lies precisely in this duality. It is both a renunciation and an affirmation, a sacrifice paid in the same coin in which true freedom is received. In this interplay of light and shadow, every conscious action becomes an act of rebellion against the inertia of being, a declaration that true strength is not measured by the ability to impose, but by the capacity to govern oneself. Thus, power reveals itself in its most genuine form, like a silent heartbeat accompanying every breath, every decision, and every moment of reflection. Throughout this journey, one is invited to maintain a persistent restlessness, a narrative thread that extends beyond words and fuels an unceasing quest. That sense that something important remains to be unveiled acts as an internal engine, a resonance that drives us not to settle for superficial answers. The mystery of self-mastery manifests at every turn, in every moment when one perceives that true power lies in the unsaid, in what still awaits discovery. It is as if life itself challenges us to probe beyond the surface, to question the established, and to dare to dream of a fuller, more conscious existence. This secret, passed down through the centuries, invites us to immerse ourselves in an ocean of possibilities where every experience becomes a vital lesson. Wisdom does not reside in the accumulation of external knowledge, but in the ability to transform every experience into a seed of inner strength. In this sense, self-mastery is a gift bestowed upon those brave enough to look within themselves, to confront their fears, and to embrace uncertainty with the conviction that within that struggle lies the essence of true power. The journey toward this state of grace is neither linear nor predictable. It is marked by interruptions, by moments when the path darkens and grows uncertain. Yet it is precisely that feeling of incompleteness that keeps the flame of curiosity alive, that awakens an incessant longing to improve, to surpass oneself. Much like the magic of the Zeigarnik effect, where unfinished tasks demand attention, the pursuit of self-mastery keeps us in constant motion, in a state of alertness that prevents complacency. Every challenge, every doubt that arises along the way, serves as a reminder that the path never truly ends, and that around every corner lies the possibility of a new beginning. The power of self-mastery extends beyond the individual. It is a seed that, once it germinates within a person, radiates energy outward, creating a chain of transformation that can change entire communities. The strength emanating from a spirit at peace with itself has the capacity to inspire others, to generate movements, and to sow hope amid adversity. It is in the confluence of these forces that true revolution is born, a revolution not fought on conventional battlefields, but on the subtle terrain of consciousness, where the human will rises as the engine of lasting change. By sharing this journey with those willing to listen, a spark of empathy and connection is ignited, one that transcends the barriers of language and time. The story of self-mastery becomes a shared narrative, a journey in which each individual contributes their own experience and where learning transforms into a collective act. In that silent communion, one discovers that true power lies in the ability to build bridges between souls, in recognizing in the other the same inner struggle that, despite everything, unites us in the quest for greatness. In this unceasing exchange of experiences, the essence of the lesson to be etched into memory emerges. Every word, every pause in the discourse, invites deep reflection and a commitment to personal transformation. The strength emanating from a spirit that knows and respects itself is the same that shines in the eyes of one who dares to dream of a different future, in the determination reflected in every act of overcoming. This conviction, born from the silence of self-mastery, becomes the driving force that propels us forward, even when the path appears impassable. Thus, the power to govern oneself is revealed not only as a personal achievement but as a manifestation of the truest form of freedom. It is a reminder that life, in all its complexity and contradiction, offers every moment the opportunity to reinvent oneself and to embrace change with the conviction that we are the architects of our own destiny. In that ability to transform, in that constant struggle against the inertia of the established, lies the promise of a richer, more authentic existence. Every internal challenge, every moment when we choose reflection over reaction, stands as a victory against the limitations imposed by human nature. This struggle, far from being a solitary battle, is a communion of wills that extends beyond the visible, reaching an almost spiritual dimension. The authenticity of living in harmony with one's true self manifests in actions that, though silent, possess the power to transform reality and open pathways to unforeseen horizons. The magic of this inner power lies in its ability to inspire without the need for grand displays, in its potential to move mountains without uttering a single cry. It is a force felt in the measured beat of a heart that refuses to surrender, in the determined gaze of one who has learned to trust in the strength of their own spirit. And although the journey toward self-mastery may seem endless, every step, every small victory, becomes a cornerstone upon which a future full of possibilities is built. As we progress along this path, the mind gradually sheds the constraints that limit it, opening up to the vast expanse of an inner universe where anything is possible. Transformation is not a destination but a journey renewed at every moment, a course in which uncertainty becomes an ally and the will stands as the beacon illuminating the way. It is in that ebb and flow, in the perpetual dance between doubt and conviction, that one discovers that true power resides in the ability to press onward, despite interruptions, despite the unfinished tasks that life presents. Thus, a lingering question remains in the air, a resonance deep within the soul. What other mysteries await discovery when we cease searching for answers externally and turn inward into the vast expanse of our own being? That question, left open-ended, invites endless reflection, a constant pursuit of the hidden truth in every corner of the soul. It is this uncompleted inquiry that keeps the flame of curiosity alive, driving us never to settle for easy answers, but to embrace the infinite richness of human experience. The journey of self-mastery transforms into a passionate voyage, full of nuances and contradictions, where every lived moment becomes an invaluable lesson. It is a path that invites us to realize that true strength is not found in the accumulation of external achievements, but in the ability to turn our weaknesses into strengths, in the skill to transform fragility into an inexhaustible source of resilience. This is the essence of the silent power, a quiet inner force that, though discreet, has the capacity to change destinies and inspire generations. In sharing these words, tribute is paid to the fortitude of those who, day after day, choose to govern themselves. It is an invitation to look inward and discover within oneself the most valuable resource, a hidden treasure that, when nurtured with care, becomes the master key to opening doors to a world of infinite possibilities. The promise of self-mastery extends beyond the personal, becoming a beacon that lights the way for those who long to live with integrity, with passion, and with the certainty that every step toward internal control is a step toward true freedom. Perhaps, as these words come to a close, a sense of uncertainty lingers about all that remains to be discovered. That halo of mystery, so characteristic of the power forged in silence, serves as a reminder that the quest for balance never ends, and that every moment of introspection opens the door to new challenges and new victories. It is that feeling of incompleteness that invites us to move forward, to refuse complacency, and to embrace the infinite richness of the human experience. The deepest lesson drawn from this journey is that real power is not measured by external acts or visible conquests, but by the capacity to transform adversity into a catalyst for growth. It is a power cultivated in the realm of the soul, in the subtle art of listening to and understanding every beat, every emotion. In mastering ourselves, we learn to walk in harmony with life, recognizing that every obstacle is, in reality, an opportunity to grow and to reaffirm the determination to be free. As this narrative draws to a close, a call remains to continue the journey toward that inner state of peace that empowers us to face the world with the conviction that true greatness lies in serenity. Every question that arises in this process is a reminder that self-mastery is an ever-evolving path, a course renewed with each experience and, though fraught with challenges, holds the promise of a unique and powerful transformation. Thus, in the echo of these words, an incessant call to introspection and action is revealed, a call inviting each person to discover the secret of their own strength. For it is in the silence of self-control that the key to a fulfilling existence is hidden, a key that opens the door to a universe of possibilities where the true measure of power is found in the ability to transform life with every conscious decision. And it is through that transformation, in this continuous journey of self-discovery, that the mystery of silent power is forged, a mystery that, far from having a definitive end, is reinvented at every moment and challenges us to always become better. Every step along this path becomes an unwritten poem, a story told in the language of the heart that resonates in the memory of those who dare to live with the certainty that power lies within. In the whisper of the wind remains the promise that, as long as the spirit remains steadfast and the soul does not yield, every internal struggle will transform into a victory that transcends time and illuminates the path of existence. The strength of self-mastery is thus revealed as a legacy that goes beyond words, as an experience lived in every breath, in every decision taken with the full awareness that we are the masters of our destiny. It is a gift shared in silence, a gift passed on to those brave enough to look within themselves and to find, deep inside, that spark which ignites the flame of true greatness. And as these words settle in the mind, the persistent sensation remains that the search for inner power is an endless journey, full of unanswered questions and mysteries waiting to be deciphered. That restlessness, so inherent to the human spirit, becomes the final invitation to continue the journey, to never cease in the pursuit of what remains to be uncovered in the vast expanse of the soul. Each one of us has the capacity to transform adversity into a symphony of triumph, to turn pain into a wellspring of inspiration, and to transform silence into the echo of a fulfilled life. The power of self-mastery stands as the best-kept secret of existence. A power that, although discreet, possesses the strength to move mountains and change history. And it is that power, that silent conviction, which I invite you to embrace, to discover deep within yourself, and to allow it to transform every aspect of your being. The invitation lingers in the air, a question not answered immediately but carried in the heart. Are you willing to uncover the mystery of your own strength and turn every obstacle into a stepping stone toward true freedom? That question, resonating in the mind and becoming an unfinished promise, reflects the silent power that, like an eternal heartbeat, accompanies every step on the path of self-mastery.